Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the team from Gambling Databases. And our job is to cut through the noise and give you the real story on global iGaming markets.
We are the Gambling Databases research team, a group dedicated to delivering in-depth analyses of the global iGaming landscape.
In each country-specific report, we explore key aspects such as local regulations, taxation, player experience, and operator conditions, along with emerging trends.
Our goal is to provide a clear, data-driven understanding of how the gambling industry functions within each market and what makes it unique.
And today, we're pointing that data-driven lens at Egypt. This market is, it's one of the biggest paradoxes we've ever analyzed.
It really is.
On one side, you have this staggering potential, a huge, young, super-connected population that's hungry for entertainment.
And on the other?
On the other, you have an ironclad legal framework that treats digital betting as a serious crime. Our mission today is to show you exactly where that opportunity collides with that absolute prohibition.
It's a study in contrast, absolutely. When you first look at the raw numbers, the market just screams opportunity, untapped potential.
Yeah, you see dollar signs.
Exactly. But the second you overlay the legal and financial rules, the whole picture changes. It goes from opportunity to peril. Understanding that legal landscape isn't just a box-ticking exercise. For any operator, it is absolutely critical for survival.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit. Let's start with the appealing side of it. Why does Egypt look like such a gold mine on paper?
It's all about demographics and connectivity. Simple as that.
You want volume and youth, and Egypt just delivers both in spades. The population is set to top 104 million in 2025.
Instantly making it the most populous country in the Arab world. That's a massive consumer base right there.
But it's the youth that's really the key factor, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The median age is around 24 years old. Just think about that.
24.
Compare that to a market like Germany or Japan, where you're looking at median ages well over 45. You realize you have this enormous group of, say, 15 to 34-year-olds. They're the exact people driving digital consumption globally.
And they are plugged in. This isn't a market that's waiting for infrastructure.
No, it's already there. Mobile penetration is what, 88%?
88%. And internet penetration is over 62%. It's ready right now, especially in the cities where all the activity is concentrated.
And that combination scale, youth, connectivity, it directly fuels the demand for things like iGaming. It has to.
So much so that even with the ban, our research estimates the unauthorized market generated. What was the figure?
A staggering $1.5 billion in 2024.
$1.5 billion.
And that's forecasted to grow at a CAGR of around 12% through 2030. That growth tells you everything you need to know about consumer appetite. Enforcement isn't killing the demand.
That's a huge number, and you can see it in their daily habits, right? The average daily online usage is something like 6 hours.
6 hours. That's an incredibly engaged user, and they're mobile first, completely. Smartphone adoption is up around 65%, and it's almost all Android.
Which offshore operators definitely know.
Of course they do. They see people spending hours on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. This is an audience that's completely comfortable with digital transactions. They're the perfect target.
It's fascinating that this huge demand exists, but this is where the story takes a very sharp turn.
A very sharp turn.
All that potential doesn't mean much if the law says no, right?
Right. And this is not a gray market situation where the law is sort of vague.
Let's be very clear about that.
The legal status is simple and absolute. Online gambling is strictly illegal. The Penal Code and the Egyptian Gambling Act both criminalize it. There is no licensing system for digital betting. Zero.
I think a lot of people are used to markets where it's technically illegal, but, nobody really enforces it.
This is not that place. The only legal gambling is extremely specific. It's confined to physical, land-based casinos.
The ones you see in the tourist areas?
Exactly. High-end resorts, places like Sharm el-Sheikh, some hotels in Cairo, and they exist almost entirely for foreign tourists with incredibly tight oversight. They're the exception that proves the rule.
So how does the government actually police the digital side?
They are very proactive.
Yeah.
And vigorous. The key player here is the Egyptian Telecommunications Regulatory Authority, the NTRA.
They're the state's digital enforcers.
Pretty much. They work with law enforcement to actively monitor and block gambling domains and IP addresses. It's like a digital dragnet for iGaming.
And it sounds systematic, not just passive.
Oh, it's very aggressive. This is an explicitly hostile environment, which brings us to the risks, and the risks are for everyone.
Okay, this is the part where operators really need to pay attention. Let's talk liability.
For operators, the penalties are severe. you're looking at huge fines, potentially up to $1 million.
They'll confiscate your equipment.
And the real threat, the one that changes everything, is criminal prosecution, including imprisonment. This isn't just a financial risk.
And here's the detail that just shocked me from our report. The government doesn't just go after the operators.
No. This is the key differentiator. Our sources state that the government routinely penalizes operators and participants involved in unauthorized platforms.
So wait, you're saying the player, the person making a small bet on their phone, they could face legal trouble?
Yes, the individual player is explicitly at risk. It is not a safe market for anyone involved, provider or user. The state is trying to kill demand by punishing participation.
And our own data backs this up. It's why we created the gambling database's country rating, to sort of quantify this risk.
And the scores are, frankly, damning.
What are they?
The operator ease score is a 0.8 out of 10, a verdict of prohibitive.
0.8. That's about as low as it gets.
And the player access score is just 2.3 out of 10, rated illegal because of that risk to the players themselves. Our final verdict is unequivocal. This is a hostile black market.
So let's even consider the legal route for a moment, the land-based one. Even there, the government has set up financial hurdles that are just intentionally punishing.
Oh, completely. The bureaucracy is a nightmare. A license takes 12 to 18 months, and the application fee is around $250,000.
Just to get in the door.
Just to get in the door. And then they tax you.
Heavily. Operators face a 40% tax on gross gaming revenue for casinos and slots. 40% of GGR is already a huge bite.
It is. But then you have to add the corporate income tax on top of that, which is another 22.5% on net profits.
So when you do the math,
The effective tax rate is easily over 50%. It's a crippling strategy.
does that feel more like revenue generation, or is it just designed to be a deterrent?
I'd say it's highly extractive. It's designed to restrict margins so severely that only the biggest, most patient players could even survive. It's a form of control through cost.
And it doesn't stop there. The players' winnings get taxed too, right?
Yep. Withholding taxes up to 20%, it just adds another layer of friction.
So what does all this mean for someone trying to operate even illegally online? The practical requirements just stack up the risk and cost.
They're designed for state control. A legal operator would need a physical office, local staff, and, this is the kill switch, they must host all platforms and user data on servers inside Egypt.
That local data hosting, that's the ultimate trap, isn't it?
It's the ultimate vulnerability. If an illegal digital operator did that, the government doesn't need a court order. They just walk in and take the servers. It's an invitation for a raid.
And that surveillance goes right into the financial system. You can't just move money around easily.
Not at all. AML and KYC rules are strict. While credit cards are still common, you see e-wallets like Vodafone Cash and Fowry getting really popular.
But those are local.
Exactly. And they're under the thumb of the central bank's monitoring rules. It's incredibly hard for an unauthorized site to move money through those channels without getting flagged.
So if you put it all together, the taxes, the local hosting, the financial surveillance, what's the real ROI look like, even for a legal operation?
For a huge land-based casino, we project 3 to 5 years just to break even.
And for an online one?
For online, profitability is non-existent. The risk of prison and total asset seizure just wipes out any potential reward from that $1.5 billion market.
People are still betting. That demand is being met somehow. What are they actually playing?
Their preference is clear. Sports betting is number one. It engages over 40% of the players.
And it's all mobile, I assume.
Very mobile-focused. Quick, easy-to-use games. Average sessions are short, maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Slots and table games have a following, but sports really drives everything.
And the tech is only going to make that mobile experience better. I know they've been pushing 5G in the big cities.
Right, 5G coverage is up to about 35%. If the laws ever changed, that network speed would be a game changer for live betting and live casino streams. The tech is moving way faster than the regulations.
Let's imagine for a second that the regulations do shift. What would a legitimate operator have to do to comply?
The bar would be set incredibly high. You'd need bulletproof player protection, strict KYC, enhanced AML, rigorous age verification, mandatory self-exclusion programs, no cutting corners.
So our analysis recommends a very specific and difficult entry strategy.
High risk, high cost. You would have to start with strong local partnerships because of foreign ownership limits. You'd have to invest heavily in mobile-first platforms and have perfect compliance from day one. There would be zero room for error.
And you couldn't just advertise your way to success either.
No. Marketing is heavily restricted. You can't target minors, campaigns need pre-approval, and responsible gambling messages are mandatory. The only way in would be slow, expensive, and require total submission to the regulators.
So where does that leave us? What's the final thought here?
Well, despite the hostility and the incredible risk, you just can't ignore the numbers. We're forecasting that demand could hit $3.2 billion by 2030. The tension is immense.
The demand versus the prohibition.
Exactly. You have this young, massive, digitally native population pushing against a government that is completely dedicated to prohibition. That tension is only going to grow. Something eventually has to give. It makes Egypt a market you have to watch, even if any change is still very far off.
It's a perfect example of a market with dizzying potential and the near certainty of financial and legal ruin. We hope this analysis gives you a clear picture of why a market can be so tempting, and yet for today, so completely off limits.
For the full text of this and other country reports, visit our website at gamblingdatabases.com.